I always look forward to when you post. I love watching you. Makes me feel at home. I wish you could do my hair though. I've learned a lot from you. I went to a hairstylist this weekend and she was surprised my hair was so healthy, although I don't co-wash or oil my hair unnecessarily. She told me I need to sleep in my conditioner too. I'm definitely not going back because she was yanking my hair during detangling too using a denim brush. I'm tired. Can I be honest here? I blame licensed cosmetologists and professionals for this place that the industry is in right now. It is only because licensed cosmetologists are not professional and they're following YouTubers that the everyday woman is going to go ahead and follow a YouTuber too, because the professionals don't know what they're doing. Let's get into it.
Trust that exactly where you are is where you're meant to be. So keep your chin up, so your crown doesn't fall. Remember, you're royalty.
Hey loves, before we get started, make sure you go ahead and subscribe here to my channel and click on that bell so you're notified every time I post another video. Comment this right now. Accountability. It is the word of the day, and until we take accountability for our actions, all of us, we will not get ahead. And black women, black hairstylists to be specific, cosmetologists, hairstylists, braiders, I need all of you to take responsibility today because you are your sister's keeper. Okay, what is conditioner actually made of in the first place? This is a question that everyone needs to Google for themselves, but I did it for you, so let's talk about it. Conditioner is only water, wax, maybe a little bit of a butter, and a couple of additives. So all you're doing is taking the emulsifying wax, heating it up to melt it, and then what you're doing is combining the water and the wax. Now, I want you to pay attention to the amount of oils that this person is using. They are not using the whole entire bottle. It is such a very, very small amount of additives that this person is putting in to make quite a few different batches of this conditioner. There is nothing within the formulation of a conditioner that needs to be set on the hair shaft for hours, especially overnight. This is our next question. What is hydro fatigue in the first place? So, hydro fatigue is basically when the follicle is forced to swell and unswell repeatedly over and over again. Really, your cuticle and the follicle within the inside of the hair shaft is only supposed to open and close on your wash day. And after the hydrogen bond is broken, it is supposed to be set again immediately, not hours later, not 45 minutes later. So, what is the conditioner for in the first place? Just to let you know, the main purpose of a conditioner is to protect the hair shaft until your next wash day. That is the purpose of a conditioner, and it also allows you to move the sebum that is coming out of the follicle down the hair shaft easily. It helps you to smooth the cuticle. So after you shampoo the hair, you use conditioner to make it easier to set the hydrogen bond and style your hair until your next wash day. That is what a conditioner is for. A conditioner is not formulated to heal anything to that extent as it pertains to it being left in the hair overnight. Now, the longer that you leave a conditioner in the hair, the more it begins to break down the hair's cuticle, because the cuticle should only be broken, the hydrogen bond should only be broken for short amounts of time. So the picture that you see on the left, all right, is a healthy hair strand with a healthy cuticle versus the one on the far right, my right at least, that is a hair shaft and a cuticle that has hydro fatigue, aka moisture overload. And again, on the left, I can't talk, on the left, my left, that is a healthy cuticle, and the one on the right is one that is suffering from hydro fatigue. Okay, this is a serious issue, you. And one of the main causes of hydro fatigue is leaving the hair wet for long periods of time. Again, hydro fatigue is when the follicle is forced to swell and unswell over and over again. Most people think that the hair shaft is somehow separate from the hair's follicle, but it is not. They are directly connected to each other. And so when the hair shaft is wet, the hair shaft is still connected to the follicle. The hair that is on your head falls out on the floor when your hair shaft detaches itself from the blood supply. One of the fastest ways to make your hair detach itself from the blood supply is to keep the follicle swollen for long periods of time. Okay, that is the problem, and that is why most naturals and most women with naturally curly hair, your hair has been doing good for years, but now after years of wetting your hair, after years of wash and goes, after years of constantly wetting your hair every day, whether you're doing it at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, a couple of times during the day, you are causing the follicle to swell and unswell multiple times in a day, which is in return causing your hair to have hydro fatigue. A lot of people would say, oh, I only wet it at the beginning of the day and then I let it air dry. The average person has anywhere between 100,000 and 400,000 strands on their head. There is no way that all 100,000 of your follicles have hair that is 100% dry, because all of your follicles are independent. Just because one of the 100,000 follicles are dry does not mean that the rest are. A healthy hair follicle and a healthy scalp and a healthy hair shaft is one that is free of debris, dead skin, excess bacteria, and excess yeast. If you have a clean scalp, in return, you will have strong hair strands. And the reason that your hair strands will be strong is because within your hair's follicle, so in the scalp, in that little hole that your hair coming out of, right, within the follicle, there is a sebaceous gland, and that sebaceous gland has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to produce sebum. And sebum is responsible for making your hair shaft strong, making your cuticle strong regardless of your porosity level, and it also helps you to clean excess bacteria off the scalp while lubricating the hair shaft. And the only way that you can make sure that you are getting this sebum all over your entire head is if you make sure that the scalp stays clean so it can get out, and if you comb your hair on a regular basis. Obviously, if you are a person who has your hair in braids, boo, you don't need to comb your hair if it's in braids. Just keep your scalp clean with something like rose water, right? But just use a Q-tip. Don't make your hair soaking wet. It's simple. This is how single strand knots look under an electron microscope. Single strand knots are not just your hair being randomly tied in a knot. A single strand knot is a knot, and it is also a split end. The ends split, and then those two ends tie themselves in a knot, just like your shoe would. So the reason that I tell most people, hey, make sure you comb your hair, make sure you're blow drying your hair, is because you want to make sure that your hair isn't tangling up in knots. Think about it like this: the average person has 100,000 to 400,000 strands on their head. So imagine if you had 100,000 to 400,000 strings of dental floss right in your hand, and you just left them there. You never put them in any type of way, and then let's say that dental floss is curly too, and you never comb it. It's just hanging on your wall. The wind's blowing all the time, and you only use your fingers to comb through 400,000 pieces of curly dental floss, and your hair is actually skinnier than the dental floss. That would be crazy. It would be knots everywhere. And then when your hair is weakest when wet. So by you sleeping in conditioner, you're sleeping with your hair in its natural state, rolling around, tying your hair in knots. Your hair shaft is breaking because you're sleeping with conditioner in your head. I know that a lot of people swear by sleeping in conditioner and all of that stuff, but I want to challenge you to challenge them. What I need you to do is ask them, what is the benefit of me sleeping in conditioner? What does my hair shaft get from me sleeping in this conditioner that it can't get from me just using it for the allotted time on the bottle? Because unless it's some type of treatment that I've never heard of, I've never read any directions that tell you to leave conditioner in overnight and sleep in it. Never. Okay, this is a healthy cuticle. This is what the hair's cuticle should always look like. You guys, I am not trying to turn you against your hairstylist. I am a licensed cosmetologist and a pretty damn good one, if I do say so myself. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there are dusty hairstylists that do not know what they're talking about. And if you don't know the science of hair, you're gonna be bald-headed. Okay, just like they're bad doctors, just like they're bad attorneys, just like they're bad restaurants, they're bad, I don't know, everything. They're also bad hairstylists. When you go to cosmetology school, you learn the basics. You learn the basics just so you can go ahead and get your license and do it legally. But the difference between a basic, I'm sorry, I'm not being rude, a basic cosmetologist and a master cosmetologist is one that has never stopped educating themselves. As much as I know, I'm still paying money to this day to take classes to further my education because there's always something that I don't know. If you guys know the science of hair, then it is easy for you to avoid certain types of hairstylists. Okay, this woman in particular is one that you should never go to. This is what a damaged hair follicle looks like, and this is a follicle, I'm sorry, not a follicle, a cuticle. This is a cuticle that has products and stuff just caked within the follicle. Is how it looks under an electron microscope, right? Not to mention, this is a hair shaft that has been shampooed. So just because you use a shampoo or using your sulfate free, a lot of you shouldn't be using sulfate free shampoos. A lot of you have been packing so many different comedogenic oils, thick and heavy butters on the hair shaft that you actually need a shampoo with some sulfates in it to remove all of that product buildup from the cuticle. Because a lot of times what's happening with you guys getting heat damage as soon as you're going in there is your cuticle is bust out. Did you guys know that you can damage your cuticle to the point where you don't have one? This photo that you're looking at right now is a hair shaft that is completely absent of the cuticle. Remember, the hair shaft is in 3 layers. The cuticle's first, the cortex is next, and then we have the medulla, but not everyone has a medulla. This is like a couple of little seconds away from the cortex of the hair shaft, and towards the middle, that is the cortex exposed, and shortly the hair will just completely dissolve and fall out. That is what's happening to most of you guys' hair on a microscopic level. I may be a little rah-rah for some people, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, I'm not changing nothing about myself, but this is what I've been trying to get you guys to avoid for years. Since my very first rice water video, I've been trying to warn you guys about hair weathering. This is what extreme hair weathering looks like. This is hair that has completely been diminished of its cuticle layer. Let me tell you something. The majority of the women that I'm doing one-on-one consultations with, hair looks just like this under an electron microscope. Okay, this is how their hair is looking. And this is simply because you guys have been layering your hair with products, sleeping in conditioner. I'm gonna say this to close out. every hairstylist, every cosmetologist, every braider, every YouTuber, every influencer, every TikToker, every Instagrammer that has made a video telling people to sleep in their conditioner. I challenge you to be a man, be a woman about yours, and come out and say, hey y'all, I'm sorry I taught you wrong. Stop doing this, do that. Here is how you fix it. This is the way you fix it, because the things that I've done in the past have given you guys hydra fatigue, and I'm sorry. So don't beat yourself up for it. I'm not here to attack anybody. I just want all of us to be intentional. That's most people's problem. So if there are any changes that you can make right now, what would they be? Let me know in the comments right now. Let's be intentional. If you want a easy plan on how to detox the follicle and start repairing the hair shaft, this is a very, very easy process for you to follow. Okay, I am breaking down to you how to start everything over from scratch, how to completely delete everything from the way that you used to do your hair and start a brand new routine for you that you can follow, matching your porosity, your skin cell turnover cycle. And I'm teaching you exactly how to find it in the most simplistic way possible. After your first 7 days in the 7-day challenge, once you show me that you've really done the work, oh baby, everything is there. But I'm telling you something, my 7-day challenge is not called a 7-day challenge to be cute. I'm really challenging you, and the challenge isn't to see if whether or not you can grow hair. Listen, everybody grows hair. Your dog grows hair. The challenge in my 7-day challenge is I am actually challenging you to see if whether or not you're strong enough to let go of all of these team natural hacks that the people who made up the hacks in the first place are walking away from. Are you strong enough to walk away from these hacks? Are you strong enough to start making your own hair regimen? Are you strong enough to become your own guru? Okay, I'm not trying to be your guru. I want you to become your own guru. Okay, so let me know if you're ready to go. Sign up for my 7-day hair growth challenge. It is very easy and super inexpensive. It's only $35 one time. Click the link in the description box. You'll be a part of a group of women that you can talk to. You can vent, be as open as you need to be about your challenge. And there are women within the group that took the challenge about 2-3 years ago that can help you through it. So sign up now. Links in the description box below.
Trust that exactly where you are is where you're meant to be. So keep your chin up so your crown doesn't fall. Remember, you're royalty.